It saves a lot of money cutting corners on foam. We don't believe in that. And that'll come back to the contractors that do that. One storm, that's gonna come back to bite them in the ass. You know, you're gonna have insurance companies saying it wasn't installed the way it was permitted. Because that's not what you sold, that's not what you permitted.
Chris, Zoya, absolutely amazing company. I enjoyed time with you today. You're officially first couple who runs a business that I'm interviewing. One couple canceled on me. Not going to mention names, but I always wanted to interview people who run a business as a family, and I have quite a few questions for you. First question to Zoya: is Chris a workaholic?
That's an understatement.
That's an understatement.
Yes.
Can you describe a life? Can you describe a life of a workaholic?
Oh boy.
This is for her.
There's not enough categories. If there was a bubble over his head, there would be a billion boxes in that one bubble. And that's constantly happening at all hours. Whether he's sleeping, he's dreaming roofing, talking in his sleep about roofing, walking on a roof, all the time. It doesn't stop. The wheels don't stop.
And you're okay with that?
Some days I'm not, most days I am, but that was a choice I made, so I didn't come here to change him.
How did you guys decide to work together? It's a big decision to bring, like, do you have work-life balance at all since you work together? He's workaholic, he brings it home.
We're working on it.
Yeah, I'd say I'm the one that fails at that. I fail at work-life balance. She helps ground me. She's trying to bring more of that for us. But yeah, I absolutely fail at that. Because even at dinner, I want to talk about roofing every now and then. She wants to talk about what was on The Bachelor. so I try to cave a little here and there. But yeah, you know, we get a lot more accomplished in my eyes because we can constantly talk work. We're always there. We're always together. So it does help. But yeah, I'm the first to admit I need more work-life balance.
So what advice would you give to wives out there who marries guys like Chris, who just go, never stop?
In general or in roofing?
In general.
Run.
No, because there's good and bad in that. It's learning how to. A good friend of mine once, a long time ago, said you have to learn to tame your dragon. You know, you have to learn to uplift what his strengths are, but yet reel him back in so he gets a timeout. You know, not in a bad way, so he can hit that pause button and evaluate what he's thinking from the outside. You know, so if you can find the secret sauce to doing that, then you're good. I'm still trying to figure it out. But
tell me about your roles. How many hats do you wear? How many hats do you wear? Do you have official titles in the business?
You want to answer or you want me to?
you can go.
We both wear many hats. There's no doubt about that. We're working right now on you stay in your lane, I'll stay in my lane.
What are the lanes? What are you responsible for?
I have the HOV lane. we literally are currently speaking, like defining more, so we're not overlapping.
Who does accounting?
He does.
Who does sales?
Me.
What's your recruiting process? Like, do you recruit people together, or you recruit some?
We're working on that now. We haven't really recruited other than recently we've hired a headhunter just to say, hey, here's what I'm looking for. This is the type of person I want. If they have these attributes, great. If they can do this, great. If they can't, I'm willing to train this.
I come in on the back end of that.
Yeah. So then
I
value her judgment. Sometimes I'm a little, I try to see the best in everyone no matter what. So her radar is a little better than mine. Sometimes she'd be like, you know what? I don't think that's a good fit.
You trust everyone?
I do.
Don't waste your time.
I do. I trust everyone. And then she's more, there's something there that's not right. And she usually comes out on top in those situations.
There's
she's
that
usually
gut
right.
feeling.
It just takes me longer to
Women's
get there.
intuition.
Yeah.
Sixth sense, yeah.
Sixth.
Yeah.
Who is the spender?
Oh, that's me.
So you're the
That's me.
keeper, you're saving? Business and personal?
We actually formed a board
He has
recently, and if it's a purchase more than $5,000, I have to get permission from my own board.
Love it. Wow. Both business or personal?
That's business. Don't bring up personal.
he's the one that has the boxes delivered. There's always something coming to. Usually it's the other way around, right? He's the shopper.
I like Amazon.
There's always something coming.
And you screwed because I'm a shopper too. And on the last interview, Nate Schweppe, he said that to hide his shopping habits from his wife, he would just order it to work. So he gets boxes at work. You screwed because you can't.
Right.
It'll come here, it'll come home. So you shop more than her?
Yeah, I won't go to a mall. I don't like it. I
Just
don't
online,
like
swipe,
walking
swipe.
in there. No, yeah, to me it takes too long and boom.
I don't
Tried
even shop.
going to the mall a couple of times with her, and I'm like, okay, we went to the store, we needed that. Boom, let's go. Well, we're here. No, that's wasted time to me.
Love it. You recently brought a parents to your business as well. I understand they were very experienced. So not only you're in the same household, but you also have a parents. Like that's another dynamic, and everybody gives this advice, like never work with relatives and family, and you just keep bringing them in. How is that working with the family?
Well, we probably made that even worse than you're thinking, because my parents live 3.5 hours north. So not only would they come to help with the business, they would come and stay with us.
They were staying with us.
Yeah, they just now bought their own place here, and they commit 2 weeks at a time here. Then they go back for a week and work remote. So,
Wow.
yeah.
So, but in your case, you just hire them for their expertise.
Yeah, both my mother ran a very successful construction company. She was their CFO. She can do it better than we probably could, you know. And then my father, his whole life was in metal manufacturing and in automation and Kaizen. It's how to constantly improve something and less waste and be more efficient. And so when we started our metal division, you know, and I know my father, I get the working from him. He tried retiring, and you just tell he was bored as can be. So I said, hey, you want to come help? Yep, I'm there. Let's go. So
I think you die faster when you retire.
Yeah,
It's one way to
enjoys it. Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, you stop and you're done.
yeah,
Agreed.
yeah. And I think that's the way our family sees it too. We don't mind hard work as long as you're enjoying it.
The biggest business challenge you're facing right now?
Today?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. So, you know,
That was deep.
well, you know, I'm not afraid to go for it every time. You know, we moved into a new building. You know, we have a lot of tile jobs, a lot of tile customers. With COVID, it's delayed those jobs, which if the tile can't be delivered, it does affect cash flow. And now with this big freeze in Texas, the pipes burst evidently in the one plant that supplies all the roof foam. And all the roofers in South Florida, we can't get foam. So now even though I got tile arriving, I can't install it. Now I got to worry about if the underlayment's been exposed too long to the UV. So you can't roof load the tile because you're going to have to unload it and you're going to have to redo the underlayment. So it is a cash flow killer. You know?
So snow in Texas literally affects you in Florida.
Snow in Texas affected us in Florida. You know, normally we're, hey, Mother Nature, bring it on. We like hurricanes. They're good for business. We didn't see that coming. It's one thing I've learned in business. There's always something.
Yeah, there's always something for sure. What advice can you give to business owners who have family members in business?
Oh, you want to answer that one?
Communication
Yeah.
is key. You have to, even if you're not on the same page, you have to talk about it because it just is one layer after another. And there's so many parts to the business that without proper meetings about the business, communicating, making time for that, especially when you're with your partner, because you wouldn't normally treat your boss that way or someone else, your peer, if you were in a different setting. So we both cross those lines, and you kind of subconsciously take it for granted that this is, you know, my partner, and you oversee a lot of those things that you normally, I don't, at least for me, I don't think you would if you were in a different atmosphere, not dealing with your spouse or your partner or whatnot.
See, this is where I'm good at separating work and personal. She can be mad at me something I did here, and if I go home, she's still got a chip on her shoulder. I'm like, oh no, that's work. You can't be mad at me. We're at home now. This is personal now.
That's the only
So
time you separate
that's
it. Yes.
that's when you got to separate it, though. But no, we do try to. Hey, it's okay to disagree. It's okay to argue. If we agreed on everything, then we both don't need to work here. You want to do it your way, justify it to me why, and I'm not afraid to change, and I don't think she is either. You just have to, sometimes when we don't agree on things, okay, tell me why, your way, and I think it makes us better.
Love it. It's so hard though, like with the family. I try to work with my father-in-law, even with my father. It's like, I mean, I love my father to death, but
Well, you should see when my father's here.
and every once in a while, it's like, and we're Russians, like I love my father. We never like yell at each other and stuff, but just how we talk, it's always sounds mean. People are like, why you yell at each other? No, we just talked. It was actually a very pleasant conversation. People don't get it, but it's hard. Like sometimes I want to yell at my father, and you can't. Like, would you yell at your employee?
Right. Yeah, me and my father, we get intense too. We don't yell, we don't do, but at the end of the day, we know it's just for the better cause.
What advice would you give to the homeowner who is looking to get his roof done?
So we believe an educated customer is the best customer. If you bring in 3 roofing companies, take something from all of them, learn something, try to educate yourself as much as you can, but you should want that roofing sales guy that's educating and doing the work for you. Hey, here's your options. Here's why. This is why you want to do these upgrades and justify it. The old saying, the customer's always right. Sometimes the customer just doesn't always know. So we try to lead our customer down what we think. If it's me personally, I always tell them this: if it was my own house, my mother's house, my grandmother's house, this is what I would do, and here's why. Now, if they can't necessarily always afford the upgrades, okay, well, here's the next best option. So, our market in Florida, we have a lot of advanced upgrades that we can do to dramatically lower the cost of insurance. And insurance, every time we have a major storm, insurance companies raise rates, and they go up and they go up. So when you talk about you replace a roof, most people replace a roof maybe once in their lifetime. In Florida, I know the rest of the country, they get hail, it seems like every 6 months. Yeah, but there's decisions you can make at that point that will affect that roof for the next 25 years. So, it's not always just a matter of price. Sometimes it's better to spend a little bit more now to save a lot more in the long run.
So you don't get offended when people tell you they're looking for 5 estimates?
I actually love when people tell me that, because I'm like, what is it the other contractors aren't giving you? Why do you feel it's necessary to get that many? What are you looking for in a contractor? To me, that's not just price shopping if there's 5. That means that whoever got to them first they didn't find out what their real reasons are for in the decision-making process.
How do you feel about sales process? And tell me, maybe it's your sales process when companies start with 100% price and then willing to go to 40%. Like today's price is 10,000, but price is 10,000, but if you sign today, it's 5,000. Do you see a lot of it going on here? Do you do business that way?
No, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in the high pressure sale. We're not even a one-time close company.
It's almost like a car salesman.
Yeah.
Today.
Used to be, yeah. Not anymore. Now it's like everything online. You see the cars, like price sells.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big ticket item. If you're buying a tile roof, there's 10 different ways you can install it in Florida, and there's 10 different ways it will perform depending on how you install it. So it is a process. So we really try to hold the customer's hand, and we really try to walk them through that process. And, we're not going to be the cheapest, not the most expensive either. I've seen guys much higher than us, and it makes me question our prices sometimes. Maybe we need to raise them, but, Florida's a very tough area, and there's a lot of contracting stuff that goes on, and there's a lot of way to cut corners. And, in our business model, we've at least prevented that even from me not being able to be at every job with our controls that we've put in place through pictures and documenting everything. and measuring, if guy's installing a foam roof, we know how much he started with. We can see how much is left at the end. You know, it's standard practice for our project managers to go on a roof and break a brand new roof and break brand new tiles that have been installed to check the amount of foam that the installer used underneath, because it's very important. It saves a lot of money cutting corners on foam. We don't believe in that. And that'll come back to the contractors that do that. One storm, that's going to come back to bite them in the ass. You're going to have insurance companies saying it wasn't installed the way it was permitted. And they're going to get denied claims, and they're going to go after the contractor.
What are the biggest corners you see contractors cut?
In our market, it's the foam.
The foam?
It's the foam.
How much do they save on it? How much can you save on foam per job?
So just going from a large patty foam to a medium patty foam on a 30 square roof can be the difference of $5,000, $6,000.
Wow.
Now go from a medium patty to just a couple of little dots, you're saving another $5,000. That's why it can range. I mean, I know right away I'll go in. I've had people before say, you're 10,000 more than the next guy. And then I have to walk them through that process. Best thing I ever did, this was, probably 5-6 years ago. Lost a job because of the price. Couldn't believe it, how another roofer could install it that price. Told the homeowner, I said, you're hiring me. I'm your consultant. You don't have to pay me though, but you're gonna tell the roofer, I'm your friend, and I'm a roofer, and I'm just your consultant. I'm gonna watch him install the roof. And lo and behold, hey guys, the foam's not big enough. I watched these guys try to cheat it. And I remember the one guy, I don't know who he called, someone showed up and he's like, you're gonna make me lose my ass on this job. I was like, you should, because that's not what you sold, that's not what you permitted. I wanna see how these guys are doing it for that price. I wanna learn that market. And sure enough, it was exactly what I expected. They weren't using the right amount of foam that it was permitted for. And that's the market in South Florida.
Permit specifies the amount of under.
You have to put the size of the patty you're using. So there's either a 2-patty system, a medium patty, a large patty, and that affects wind uplift dramatically. It affects the insulation of the roof. So, a lot of guys will permit medium patty, and they're not even doing medium patty. They're cheating, and they're saving the money on the foam. Well, and like I said, when a storm comes, that roof's not going to hold up like it's supposed to.
So what happened to the job? What happened to the homeowner? Did they finish? Did the contractor lose money?
So yeah, I remember one of the guys coming and complaining to me like, hey, you're going to cause me to lose my ass. And I was like, I'm just making sure it's installed the way you permitted it. This is my buddy and I'm protecting him. And I use that homeowner for references now. And I said, you see the difference when there's that much difference in price? To me, it was a red flag right away. I knew. I was like, I know where they're going to cut the corners. It's easy.
So you made them lose money?
Probably, yeah. Well, I know I did on that job because now they had to install it right.
Love it. So, and it's a pretty common problem here in Florida?
That's the number one ways guys cheat in Florida.
Well, back to my question. The reason I ask it, I recently did a poll in our group, actually, Roofing Insights private group, and we got a complaint on Directorii. In Florida, I believe it was Miami area. So they got a quote from the contractor, and they say they found them on Directorii. So I'm actually scheduling a call with a contractor, and they say it was high pressure sales technique. They came out, I think it was like $12,000, but they were willing to do it for $6,000 if they sign up right there and then. And for me, that's a red flag right there. I don't want to recommend anyway. So I posted email from the homeowner in the group, and I say, listen, if you're listed in the Directorii and you do this kind of sales, I don't care about your work, I don't care about your BBB rating. We actually checked. They have a couple complaints on BBB with the similar high pressure stuff. And a lot of contractors start saying that, no, this is the industry. One guy says that 90% of contractors sell this way. I'm like, in what market? I've never seen it. In my experience, maybe 5%. So I don't know, maybe it's a Florida thing. Maybe.
I haven't really seen that here.
Exactly.
I've seen it in Florida for the window side of it, hurricane windows and doors. I don't know that I've seen it for roofing. Because most of the time I go in, they've got their 2-3 proposals.
And it's okay to do 5-10% discount, maybe cash deals, maybe some incentive. Yeah, that's a lot. Well, I know Leaf Filter does business that way, and I've been calling them out forever, and they hate me. I have one guy who was featured in a video, which is not my video, I downloaded from YouTube. Right. He was working their home show. He emailed me with threats, I'm going to sue you for defamation. And I'm like, well, you choose your company you work for. Like, I'm not saying nothing but the truth. Like, if that's your sales process, own it. Either change it or own it. Right. Because if you read comments on that video, the video is not that bad. Comments are worse. Right. We have hundreds of comments say, yep, got a leaf filter wrap today, started at 7,600, dropped to 32 if we do it today. Every other comment. So, like, I put a video 2 years ago, comments coming today. So, you don't believe the YouTuber, right. Go through comments, you will see if he's bullshit or if he's telling the truth. So, right. Guys, thank you so much for opening doors to us. I'm hoping to come back here within a year, and I know it'll be a very different office from what it is today. You guys fighting the good fight, you will figure it out. I love your business, I love the model, I love the energy, I love the culture. I travel to a lot of offices. You feel right away the energy between employees and owners, and a lot of times you see if it's fake, if people are acting, or if they're just genuinely enjoying the work. And everybody I met here today feels like they enjoy to come to work every day. And
we try to be conscious of that. We talk about that. We want it to be a place where people want to have fun, but they know they got to do their job, but we want them to have fun and enjoy doing it.
Right.
Love what you do.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks for being good guys in this industry.
Oh, thank you.